for one of those people that might be a little bit behind on article summaries, when you walk in the door Tuesday, listen, those of you watching on video, when you walk in the door Tuesday, I'm assuming that you've read 4 articles, 2 articles for, 2 articles against, and you've done the article summaries. Because we are going to start writing your paper based on that assumption. So if you're not there, get there. Minimally read 1 article for and 1 article against. At least do that. And then you should be fine. Okay? Any questions on that? When there's time in class, if you're struggling at all with your article summary, ask me. That's part of my job. You and I will sit together and we'll read the article and I'll say like, hey, look at that quote. What do you think that's saying? Oh, okay, that might be a good argument. Write that quote down or highlight and paste it or whatever. Okay, so anyway, that'll be in a bit. First, we're going to look at another theory of why people commit crimes. That's what this whole unit is about. It's answering this question. Why do people do that? Why do people commit crimes? And this is a sociologist. His name is Merton. And he comes up with a theory of why people commit crimes. And basically his theory is criminals have normal goals. It's just that the way to achieve those goals is abnormal. So that's what it says here. Crime is committed for normal reasons, like for example, to make money. Well, that's normal. There's nothing wrong with making money. So that's why people commit a crime. So I'm creating a spreadsheet here, okay? So the goal is over here. The way to achieve that goal is over here, okay? Most of us belong right here. We have acceptable goals. So we go here, and then we have acceptable ways to achieve those goals. We want to make money, nothing wrong with that. And so what we do is we go to college and we become a lawyer and then we get a job with the best firm in LA and then we make millions. Okay? Acceptable goal, acceptable way of achieving that goal. But what if you have a perfectly acceptable goal, but the way you achieve that goal is not acceptable? Then you belong here. You want to make money and you do it by selling drugs. You're a dealer, right? You have an acceptable goal, but the way you achieve that goal is not acceptable. You belong here. Or how about those people that do not have acceptable goals? They have other goals. They don't want to make money, but they live in society. They're perfectly normal. We call those people priests, teachers. You think I'm swimming in it? You think I burn $100 bills when I'm cold? Oh, it's a little chilly. Let's throw a $100 bill in. That's better. What are the poor people doing? Okay, you reject society's goals, but you live in society. Or how about these people? They not only reject society's goals, but they reject society's way of achieving those goals. You might be thinking, who are those people? Just wait. All right. So most of us are conformists. Most of us are conformists, right? Again, what you do is you start on the O of goals. Do they have an acceptable goal? Yes. They want to make money. Do they have an acceptable way of achieving that goal? Yes. So acceptable. You are a conformist. You make money legally. You are a normal person. Most of us are that, right? Well, what about this? Again, we're starting at the O of goals. What if you have an acceptable goal, make money, but you reject society's suggestion of how to achieve those goals? So you're a drug dealer. Okay, you're an innovator. You are an innovator. Isn't that a nice way of saying it, right? Now, again, this is Merton's theory. Okay, so you're an innovator. You don't go along with society's rules. Okay? Well, what about these people? So you reject society's goals, but you accept society's means to achieve those goals. You are a ritualist. You reject the idea of making money, but you live amongst us. You're one of us. You might be seen as a little bit odd, but you're not a criminal. You accept society's rules. And priests, ministers, they're sort of seen that way, right? They reject the idea of wealth, but they live amongst us and they tell us that we need to think about our lives and stuff like that. So you're a ritualist. Or how about these people? They reject society's goals and they reject society's way of achieving those goals. There's your cults, right? Your cults. They are retreatists. They reject society's goal of wealth and they reject society itself. They cut themselves off and they form their own society. This is what we spent a lot of time with during our study of religions. Cults. These are cults. Right? Remember Jonestown? They rejected American society. They started their new society. Okay? But wait, there's one more. There's one more. What if you not only reject society and reject the goals of society, but you create a new society? What are you? Well, we call you, so a new goal, new means to achieve those goals. You are a rebel. You're Luke Skywalker. You're Jesus. You're Lenin. You're Gandhi, right? Not only do you reject society's goals and reject society's ways of achieving those goals, but you convince a whole lot of people that you're right. And so it's this mass-produced, right? Jonestown was small, but what if Jonestown had worked? When Gandhi first rejected the British, small, but then about 1 billion Indians agreed, and I mean Asian Indians, right? They agreed. Okay, so for example, the Bolshevik Revolution, or the birth of Christianity, or Gandhi, right? Any of those things, right? Well, if we think about the whole idea of criminology, criminal. Here's your deviant behavior right there. This is not deviant behavior because it worked, right? These people, it worked. They created a new set of norms, is the idea. Question?
So if a rebellion didn't work and then they got smashed, would that be considered deviancy?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. The reason it's called a revolution, the American Revolution was weird. The American Revolution this was the group in charge, and then it was replaced by this group. Simple. That's odd. What normally happens is this group's in charge, overthrown by this group, and then this group overthrows that group, and then this group, and then that, and then. Revolution.
We're not talking about this.
Circle.
Or this.
Revolution, like the earth goes around the sun, it revolves around the revolution. You think that when King Louis was beheaded, Napoleon instantly took charge? Napoleon was the guy that overthrew the guy that overthrew the guy that overthrew the guy that overthrew the guy that beheaded Louis, right? That's normal. This is normal. Ours, abnormal. All right, let's look at a couple other theories, and then I'll be done. This is a theory called cultural transmission. Here's you. Picture yourself right there. Why are you like you are? Why do you have an opinion about abortion? Think about your opinion on abortion. Should it be legal? By the way, I want to make sure we all understand. Nobody is pro-abortion. Let's kill the babies. Nobody. There's let's not allow it to happen. And then there's it's no one's business. It's a private issue. Who are you to tell that girl you cannot have an abortion? That's none of your business. That's the two positions. Do you have a question? Yeah, pro-choice and pro-life. Exactly. Okay. So think about you. Now, where do you think you got that opinion? Whatever your opinion is about abortion, where did you get it? Who imprinted upon you factors that led you to the conclusion that you have about abortion or capital punishment or gay marriage or anything else that we've studied in this class? Okay, I'm looking for input. Where do you get your opinions? Go ahead. Parents. Yeah, biggest one of all. Yeah.
Friends.
Yep, friends, peers. Yep.
From rejecting your parents' views.
Very good. I think I've told you about my dad and how my dad rejected grandpa. Grandpa was a wonderful athlete. Just ask him. He's one of those, you know what I mean? Every time we went to grandpa's house, he didn't ask how I did in anything. It was like, yeah, back in my day. And he was deaf, so it was hard to understand. It's true. He was the last high school football player in the state of Minnesota to be allowed to not wear a helmet during football games. And he had the helmet scars to prove it. It's like, Grandpa, what's that lump on your head? Ah, that was from the game against. Yeah. Very good. If you are a scholar, you do research. Anything else? Any other ways to impress upon you? Good.
Internet.
Yeah, sure. Internet. Yep. Teachers. Were you gonna say that? Oh, sorry. I'll give you. Okay. That's the idea, right? Cultural transmission. Customs, transit, traditions, social norms, they all make an impression upon you. And the idea is that you learn to behave properly or improperly based on what has influenced you. You learn to be a criminal because others taught you to be a criminal. You did not wake up one day and say, I think I'll sell drugs. Yeah, it's a sunny day. I think I'll sell drugs today. No, right? That you learn it. It is learned behavior. Cultural transmission. Think of a funnel. All these things that lead to you. And then what are you going to do to impress upon? How are you exerting peer pressure upon your friends? Someday you're going to be a dad or a mom. How are you going to use that power? And I mean that power. It's power to have a positive influence or a negative influence upon your own children. That whole idea that you don't just wake up one day and decide I'm going to be a criminal. No, that you are the result of millions of years of evolution that have led to you. In a way, you're a victim. In a way. Okay, one more, and then we'll allow you to get some stuff done. Here's a third theory. So we're really learning about some big theories here about why you engage in criminal behavior. Why do you do that? Theory number 3 is something called differential association. It's a big idea, right? So before we get into it, let's just kind of look at what the heck we're looking at here as far as this bar graph is concerned. So I'm just going to decipher this for you. The purple building represents African Americans. The green building represents Hispanic. The red represents white. And the orange is other, Asian. Okay. And what they did was they compared those 4 groups in inner cities, think LA, suburbans, think Edina, smaller cities, think Mankato, and rural counties. That's us, right? Here we are, okay? And what is it? Gang membership. Gang membership, okay? And you'll notice that in the African-American gang membership percent, about 35-ish%. In suburbans, a little over 30. In smaller cities, 25-ish. In rural counties, dang. You want to find the gang members? Go to the middle of nowhere. Blacks join gangs, apparently, in the middle of nowhere. Now, we'll have to try and figure out what's going on here, okay? Hispanic, pretty consistent, right? Pretty consistent all the way across. Whites, again, not, I mean, it's all around 10-ish, although rural county, higher. Apparently, you're all gang members here, right? And then others pretty small. Anyone have any insight here? I mean, why?
Is this the percentage?
It's the percentage
of like, okay.
of a measurable group. So
that still seems kind of weird. It's according to this graph, 15% of Caucasians in rural counties are gang members.
okay, well, all right, good. Let's introduce a new word. The word wannabe. Okay, so are these people actually in a gang, or are they in a wannabe gang? All right, you're not a crip. Sorry, they don't know who you are. Yes.
So, what makes a gang? I guess.
Very good. We're gonna explore that.
All right.
Gangs and mafia and yakuza, biker gangs. We're gonna look at all these things. Okay. Remember, this is by percentage. So let's say in a rural county, there's a grand total of 100 black people. Well, that means that half of them percent. It's just deceiving. When you see this would make you think, oh my God, there are more black people in rural counties that are part of gangs than in inner cities. No, it doesn't mean that. It's just a rate. It's a rate. This total number here, whites in larger cities, is probably a bigger number than this bar graph of blacks in rural counties. But the big idea of it is this. Basically, it has something to do with what Ridley just said here. Differential association means that if you're part of a group, you adopt the values of that group. Okay, so let's think of a kid named Roy, and Roy's an athlete, very athletic, very fast, can jump real high. You take that kid, you put him in Eden Prairie, he's a starting running back. You take that same kid, you put him in inner city Detroit, he's the kid that runs the dope because he can outrun the cops. Same skill set. Put him in a different atmosphere, put him in a different setting, his skill set is used. Right? What's the same as his skill set. What's different is how it's used. Okay? So people will more likely violate rules if they're part of a group that values this. So if you are in a street gang, if that's the norm and you want to belong to that group, then you'll more likely commit crimes because that's the norm. In a way, you're not the deviant. The criminal is not the deviant. The law-abiding citizen is the deviant. You ever heard of the IRA? IRA? The Irish Republican Army? Terrorist group in Northern Ireland, right? Tremendous amount of pressure of young Irish males to join the IRA. If you resisted, you're the deviant. Not joining the IRA was the deviant behavior. Or in Sicily. Ever heard of Sicily? You're aware of the mafia? I mean, there are towns in Sicily, and I mean today, where all the males are dead because of this thing called vendetta. And that's the norm. If you say, I'm not going to join the mafia, I'm gonna learn to be a janitor. You're the odd duck. You're the odd duck because of differential association. So I have that very example here in red, right? An outgoing boy in a criminal neighborhood joins a gang. That same kid in a suburb joins the baseball team, right? The characteristics are the same. You just take that kid and put him in a different setting. He wants to belong. The kid wants to be friends. Well, if he's in a neighborhood where there's a gang, he wants to be friends. Guess who his friends are? The gang. Take that same kid, put him in Edina. Who are his friends? The baseball team or the hockey team. It's called differential association. We'll stop there. There's a lot more. This is a fascinating topic. So we're just starting to get into this stuff. So hopefully you find it interesting. Okay. So you do have till 10:30. Minimum, please have read one article in favor of and one article against your topic. Also, starting Tuesday, one of you per day is sort of leading a discussion. So at least minimally become familiar with the talking points of your discussion. Now, if that means you also want to make a presentation, awesome. You don't have to though, but that's over and above material, okay? And all of you have something, all of you. Any questions?
Maybe we'll grab a drink.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, you got the rest of the hour. There are the porta potties. I'll be right there. Need help?
Can you let me know what the question was for
Criminal one? Yeah, I wrote that down. Where's your name? You had crime number 4. Do you need me to retrieve that? Okay, I'll put it up.
So do you have to do like visual slides for our?
You don't have to. You can. It gives you a better.
What else will we do?
Just, you can Okay, so there, let me get the question.
And that's on Tuesday. So-
Starting Tuesday.
I don't know what's wrong with Google Classroom either, but it will not let me. Or yesterday, it didn't let me turn in my like article summary.
You can just share that with me via email if you want.
Okay, sweet. It's like I'm trying to like upload the thing and like do it. There, where's this?
Where is it? Well, I'll have to. Let's see. Kai, do you remember what your topic was?
I think it was on.
Is it up there?
Stand your ground policy.
Stand your ground. Okay, so that's yours.
Sounds like,
Stand your ground.
I think it was generational profiling.
Oh, fine. Anybody else not remember what your topic was?
For the four different like crimes or for the.
Yeah.
Again, you already made out, right?
You have the what?
Already made out.
Oh, no. Oh, that one. No, I'm talking about these.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember. I think my should be on regulations.
Well, according to this, yours is stand your ground,
Standard ground.
but you can pick whatever you want. I don't know.
Okay.
Anybody else not remember?
Mine is still capital punishment. Right?
Yep. Kate,
Yeah.
did you pick?
Oh,
Yeah, yours is the same one as Bailey and Cora. So Cora, what was yours? Cora, what was your topic?
Just carrying.
That was yours too. Although, again, you can pick whatever one you want. It doesn't matter.
Wait, can I do, should we be legalized?
Yeah.
And these are the ones that we do presentations for?
Right.
Have you presentations?
Yep.
And how long does it need to be?
3 minutes
3 minutes.
ish. 3 minutes ish.